row. And I told Ben, I was like, this is awesome because we had dinner, good dinner, and it's happy hour before 7. And we listened to live music. I was there to witness my dad on stage. And
Awesome.
Did you video that? Because I would like to see that.
Oh, yes.
I
told
need
my
to see
dad.
it.
I told my dad I
Yeah.
have more video for the funeral compilation. When my dad dies,
I
we will
have
play
some too.
many renditions of Sweet Home Alabama
Okay, that I
of
would like
Matt
to
singing.
see.
So this is Matt's song. I even have one in Atlanta. We were in a bar, and I'm pretty sure there was 6 white people. We were drinking, and we sang Sweet Home Alabama this last summer. That was interesting, and I was the harmony. My dad and I are like Von Trapp.
I
family
love
singers.
that.
Like it's pretty hilarious.
I
Like a lot of
watched
my parents.
him do a karaoke competition in St. Martin, right under
It
where the
started in-
planes come in low.
Oh, you know where it started was Fajardo in Puerto Rico.
Yes, it did.
That was the first time with Dr. A, remember?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
This has been going on since probably
Wow.
before 2010, but that's
International at this point.
Yeah.
It's very
International worldwide.
Oh my
I'll
gosh.
send Jolie. My dad showed up to Whiskey Row in a cowboy hat tonight.
Oh my gosh. It would really
so
complete
cute.
it if your mom showed up in like booty shorts and your dad showed up in a cowboy hat. Because I
We
feel
could
like
probably
that
make
might be
that
something
happen.
that your mom would do.
She would look good.
She would.
She would
look
look
good,
great.
yeah.
Probably.
She would.
Just saying.
I will tell
I
you.
feel that for her. Booty
Next
shorts.
week we're going to talk about health, and on that point, I have stolen some of my mom's
Booty
pairs of shorts.
Nice.
Not quite
Good
booty.
job.
Like cutoffs. Denim cutoffs.
I have no booty to go into.
You don't have any booty. You are.
I'm working on it.
We're working on that.
I started working out this week.
Oh, so you can do a little, butt lifting, build that butt up.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good
It's
job.
called Build a Butt by Megan Dolman.
Oh, look at
It's a good
you.
one.
Send
I know.
it. We need links. I need to know.
Oh, yeah. We'll get everything. We're going to start getting everything ahead of time.
Oh, good.
We're going to like work our way into like doing doing real good stuff. Anyway.
Real good stuff.
I think it's called adulting. In some
Oh,
worlds,
gosh.
It's called adulting.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm still not quite on board with that, but whatever.
Overrated.
I just said I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I don't
understand it.
I haven't started that yet. Where'd you guys go to dinner, Jolie? Probably
We went to
somewhere far better than Whiskey Row.
Oh, we went to Mastro's.
Yes.
Very nice.
The one
I
by
have
your
to
house?
give you.
Yeah, the one by our house. Yeah, just
I saw
that's our like go-to quick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just us. And
Scottsdale.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we don't want to go to the country club. It's like, okay, let's go there.
Yeah.
So,
that's good.
Not bad.
And Christian
I
was
must
home early on a
compliment-
Friday.
well, he played golf today, so he left work at like 12:30 to play golf. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Ben said, Christian asked how my back was feeling. He must be wondering if I can golf yet or not.
He must be. Must be what it is. Yeah, no, he played. Today he played with the owners of the Aspen house that we stayed in. So he took them golfing. So that was kind of like,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
So
That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So
great.
it's worth a round of golf to stay in their gorgeous house for sure. So that was definitely worth it.
Hello, Kitty.
Oh.
Hello. The hunter is there.
Nice.
It's not Jason Kelsey's cute girls from New Heights, but it's a cat.
It's a
Don't
cat.
be surprised if we have the boys are here and Ben's like, what do we do? And I was like, listen, Jason Kelsey's kids come on all the time. It's
screaming.
Fine. It's fine. I just made sure the baby got clothes on because
perfect.
Anything.
We don't want to get kicked off YouTube.
No,
there's a good reason.
No, I'm sure my girls will be walking back and forth. They just went to In-N-Out, so then they'll be back.
Oh,
nice.
So
I was telling you, we went to STK for happy hour. That was amazing.
did you in Scottsdale? They have a pretty good happy hour. We've taken people there for happy hour before. They have a good happy hour.
Fun. We were on the
Did you sit outside?
Place we ever hung out.
Oh yeah.
We did. Yep, we were outside up on the rooftop. It was awesome. Great. I was very impressed. So
yeah.
Yep. That was really fun. And then we went to the Drunk Monk right across the street.
Oh yeah.
We used to go there when the kids were at youth group at Trinity.
Did you really?
Yeah, me and Shelly and Shannon used to go to the Drunk Monk all the time.
That was a good place.
It's pretty fun.
It was really fun.
The red pleather seats, they get you.
We were out on like a high top outside because I mean we were sitting outside as much as we possibly could, soaking it in. So
you should have felt it tonight. Nice. It's crazy nice outside right now. Like it was 82 when we left for dinner, and I had my sweater on. I was like, okay.
That's amazing.
It was nice tonight.
It was snowing here today.
Ooh.
That's white out at the mountain. Crazy powder. Ben went snowboarding and it was awesome. But
fun.
Yeah, so that's good. But no, we're not sunny. But you guys have been planning traveling and traveling all over the place recently. So we thought we would talk about travel tips.
Yeah.
And everything that you guys have come across and that you're running into and all of the things that we've learned not to do. We'll save people a lot of time and money. So that's what we're going to talk about this week.
I like it.
Yay.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm in a London and Paris, not so much Paris because this will be my 4th time and I've stayed in the same place. I'm right on Rue de Rivoli and staying kind of just down from the Louvre. And I love it. Like you walk right out. There's a L'Octane. There's it's safe. It's a good spot. So not so much London. I'm kind of looking into some cute cafes. They're doing a lot more like with almost like what you did with the truck at your church, Jolie, with like the big flower, like that cute. Like,
that's everywhere in London. Yeah. A lot of the places have that. Yeah.
Yeah. Even in Paris right now, like a lot of just the little cafes, they're doing almost like the exhibits or whatever with the flowers. Yeah. So that looks cute. Yeah. And I just figured we could let London. We're going with her school.
Yeah.
We actually we're going on a World War II tour with London's AP class in history. We watched Boy in the Striped Pajamas last night.
Oh, that's such a sad movie.
It was a lot. I forgot about the ending, and we've kind of been talking about, and we're not going to go here at all, but we've been talking about Holocaust deniers and just a lot of the anti-Semitic stuff, and just how there's so much ties to like the Jewish community, like from Romania, and there were so many like during World War II, like everything that went through Romania. So, anyways, I want London to be a defender of everything that happened. So I'm so happy that I'm taking her there. But on the opposite side of the World War II tour, we are going to do fun travel. So I'm just looking now, like, do I do an afternoon tea? We just booked our tickets to, and I want to hear, like, Ashley, have you
I've
been
got
to London?
some really great places.
I've only been in Heathrow, and that was a whole experience in itself. So I'm excited to hear too.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So we booked tickets to Phantom of the Opera.
You got to see it there. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm so pumped. So I was kind of looking at people like buying tickets we wanted to go to see Taylor in Liverpool, and we're actually, I think our trip is going to be 3 days before she gets there. And we thought we were going to be 3 days. I thought I had 3 days on the other end, and I think they're moving forward her trip. Yeah. So we're going to miss her, which is sad, but she'll be back in the US. So we'll try and go in the fall.
She will be.
Anyways, I've been looking at kind of the seats at the Taylor concerts, and a lot of people were saying these obstructed views aren't really obstructed. So I thought, wonder if some of these obstructed views in His Majesty's Theater aren't really obstructed.
Oh.
And so I went on a Reddit forum,
Yeah.
and it was like so much stuff popped up. So on the West End in London, it's the same as Broadway, essentially.
Yes.
That's their version of Broadway.
Yes.
Well, there's tickets for $30. I'll post on our story tomorrow where we're sitting. Insane. So we're in a balcony seat, kind of like what you would think of like, the fancy seats where you're overlooking.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Like the mezzanine level.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Completely unobstructed. We're in the front row.
Nice.
And it's called obstructed because there's one scene where you have to lean over the balcony to see what's going on. One scene. And it's apparently
because he's probably he drops when the chandelier drops.
The chandelier drops, yes. Yeah. So something happens and you look over. So in Reddit, they showed the picture and I'm like, that's insane. Like those views would be $1,000 on Broadway.
Yeah.
I literally paid with the what's it called? The money, not transfer. What's it called when your money?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Anyways.
Conversion.
Exchange. Yes, thank you. So with the money exchange, we paid $99 for London and I both to have these seats.
So great.
It's crazy. So that was another question of mine. Is there more of a price cap on things there? Because I feel like we can just go willy-nilly in the United States, and I feel like there's almost like a cap on their pricing. Seems to be more regulated.
Their price for Broadway, for the shows, I would say it's easier to find tickets at good prices, for sure. I think, I don't know if the shows run longer. I mean, obviously, it's the only place that you can see Phantom now. Maybe you can see it in Toronto still, but I think London is one of the only places you can see Phantom. But I don't know if the shows run longer, but so when I went in college, we bought tickets to Sunset Boulevard, and we probably, paid dirt cheap for tickets, same balcony level, like whatever. Well, the tickets were opening night.
Oh, wow.
And we had no idea. Andrew Lloyd Webber was there.
Oh, wow.
And we paid maybe like $20 a ticket.
That's insane.
So it was amazing. And then our Hamilton tickets this past year weren't bad. I mean, I think they're less than what we would pay in New York, and our seats were awesome.
When you took the girls?
Yeah. So,
Side
I think
note,
the ticket
Jolie
prices are
did
better.
not want to be here in the heat at the beginning of summer. So she went and just jumped on a plane and went over to England.
I did. Yeah.
Yes.
Took a little month break over in England.
It was so smart.
Yeah, it was great.
That's incredible.
But yeah, I think ticket prices, I don't know if there's something regulating them. Probably not, just because everything else is expensive there. Like, you'll pay a lot more for other things.
I just don't feel like anything I'm seeing is, maybe prices in Scottsdale have just gone way up. I don't know. Like,
maybe.
I just feel like everything we're doing, and maybe it's because I'm booking so early. Like, I did go down the rabbit hole really early. Like, our channel, and I know that they don't call it the channel there, but to take the train from Paris to London.
Yeah.
We paid $100 each.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that for sure. When you do train tickets, that's for sure. Like, the earlier you do it, the less expensive it is. If you do, because
we did premiere. We have premiere seats.
Yeah. When we looked at doing it, I waited to book, and to like a couple days before. And they were like 300 pounds each. And so I was like, no way. But when I originally looked, and still we made the trip last minute. So even if I just had done, like, when we first booked, so a month before we were going to take the train, they would have been half that. But I didn't realize that it changes. It's like supply and demand kind of situation. And they change the prices.
I think you told me that last year. So that was a huge get for me to just, I think that's actually why I initially started going down the rabbit hole so early, more than 90 days in advance, was because of that train ticket. Because we definitely want to go.
The other place you can save money because you're doing it in advance, and I would do that like now, is I would get your Oyster cards. So for the tube, because you can get that all online and you can get them mailed to you here, and that's going to save you money. And then when you get there, filling that card is so easy. Yeah. So you just I think you can put like $15, $20. I think there's a minimum you have to put when you order it to have it shipped. But then you're going to use it because I mean, the tube is so easy, and I think it's the best way to get around in London. And then it's so easy to refill so I would definitely do that.
Well, and I think when there's no internet, or not, like when you don't have like data, that's way easier to use, right? Because it works whether there's data or not. That's people, my big thing.
You can use your phone, you can use your debit card on your phone and all that, like if you have it on your I prefer to have the card just because I'm keeping track better. And then you can use the card to take the train to, not the Eurostar, but you can take it just like, because sometimes if you want to go out of the city a little bit, you take the train. So I love that. So
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm very excited.
Good tip.
Yeah, very good tip.
But places for tea. Oh my gosh, you have to go to Sketch, and so I would make those reservations. It's a Michelin star restaurant that has afternoon tea, and they have these different rooms, and their tea room is all pink.
Oh my gosh.
And it is so cute. And it is like, I think it's like 6 courses. It's so beautiful. London can even get a cocktail there. They do not check ID there. I mean,
I did not just go to ID God and order her a fake. I promise. I didn't do that.
She doesn't need it. Like, I think they're for like wine and champagne and beer, I think the drinking age, if I'm not mistaken, is 16.
I think it's 16 if I order it. Yeah.
It's 18 for like hard liquor. Yeah. So, but Lucy got cocktails at tea. Lucy got champagne wherever we went. But so I love Sketch. Like, that's one of my favorite tea places. Everything about it is so cool. It's like this mix of like trendy vibe with, English proper tea. So it's so cool. And then the other place that if you just want to go super like English, like very nice proper tea, is Fortnum Mason. Okay. Which you got to go to Fortnum Mason just anyway, because it's like a tea department store. It's so cool. Yeah. So and their store is beautifully decorated, like outside and everything. It's so yeah. Those are my 2
I'm so excited.
favorite places.
My mind is blown by like booking early. I haven't even gone, and my tip to going overseas is booking early, because we booked a room, and I tried to book. I've stayed in the same place in Paris every single time I've gone. And I was trying to book it, and it was so insanely priced, and I just kept checking every day, and I caught it on a day where it was like $200 a night. And so I switched and changed maybe $250 or something, but it's just a tiny boutique hotel in Paris that we love. It's called Hotel Andrea. And so I jumped on that, and then I had booked something in London that had like breakfast included and all this stuff, but it was okay. And then I found like a 4-star in London for a great price, and it's like right by Buckingham Palace and kind of right by Hyde Park, and so it's in a great location, right by 2 tube stops. Yeah. And I just looked today, so I booked it last week at double the price a week and a half later.
Do you know where
insane.
what's the name of the hotel in London?
Yes, it's called the Topham's Hotel, and it
Okay.
looks
Are you in
literally
Mayfair?
like, I don't know. I'll send you the map.
Okay.
I'll show you the
Yeah.
map and
Okay.
where we're staying.
Hyde Park. Being close to Hyde Park is so great. Like going for walks in Hyde Park.
We're right there.
I absolutely love it. It's our favorite thing. And then being close to a tube stop, like I always try to stay within like a block of a tube stop because honestly, then you can get anywhere. And then the other thing I would do is download the Tube app on your phone because they do go on strike, and they do, like right now I think they're on strike, like and you'll just know, like because you can go like different places, like you can take different routes, you'll know if like, okay, the circle line is down, like so we can take a different line. I find it so, I don't know if it's because the names of the different lines are easier to remember for me, but I find it so much easier than the subway. Like New York subway makes me so confused. Like I have the app on my phone. I don't know why I have such a hard time changing trains in New York. I think it's because they're numbered or lettered or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I need to have like a fun name, like Piccadilly or, you know, Elizabethan or whatever it is. Like I have to have the fun name to remember. So I think the Tube is so easy, but definitely have the app so you get the updates on what's running slow and what's not. So
yeah.
How
about Paris? I know both of you have been pretty recently, and I'm hearing like I'm getting like different reports. So I haven't been since 2014, 15 to Paris. Is it safe? I'm hearing like there's tons of homeless, like, and then I'm hearing no, it's great, it's lovely, it's beautiful. Give me the lowdown on Paris right now.
Last time, when were you? Were you there? When was last time you were there, Julie?
Last year during Fashion Week. Weren't you there last year?
It wasn't last year; it was the year before. So we were there in 2022 during Fashion Week.
Wait, which Fashion Week?
Men's Fashion Week.
Oh, I was there during Fashion Week too, but it was a different one.
Yeah. So
I didn't know. I didn't know. I found out. I was like, oh,
we didn't
this
either.
Explains everything.
But yeah, I tell you what, going during Men's Fashion Week is not bad.
No complaints.
There was a lot of
models.
Stars
Jolie, tell us who you were. Tell us who you were a photographer for in the Louvre, in front of the Mona Lisa.
Oh gosh, yeah. So we go to the Louvre to wait in line for the Mona Lisa, and my girls are like, I think that's Finn. Like, I think that's Billie Eilish's brother. And I'm like,
it's just Phineas.
I have no idea. And they're like, nope, that's definitely him because his girlfriend's with him. I'm pretty sure that's him. So my very sweet, lives in the Midwest daughter just turns around to him and she's like, can I ask you a question? He's like, yeah. Are you Phineas? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, can I have a picture? And so he was so sweet about it. So they took a pic, but then they were standing like right in front of us in the line. So the Mona Lisa is like absurd. So you have to like crowd underrated. In to get to see. Oh my god,
sad.
It's so like
it's so sad.
Whatever. So they were, I guess no wait. So they were behind us, I guess, in line, and so we'd already had our spot. So then I just like saved our spot and let them come in front of me. And then I could see that they're trying to take like a, selfie. And I'm like, let me just take your picture for you. Like, I'll just take a bunch. Well, then they posted that picture that I took on Instagram. And then he used it. He wrote that song like right after that of their time in Paris.
About Claudia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he used my picture in the video.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Isn't that such a Paris thing to happen? Like literally, I know that. Like, I just feel like anything can happen when you're there. Like, it's just it's the craziest place.
It was but then our hotel, like every day there was like tons of people like standing outside the hotel waiting to take pictures. of people. And it's like this tiny like boutique hotel with no like signage. So I guess like the stars like to stay there because it doesn't have a lot of traffic through it and you don't know that it's a hotel. And so, yeah, we had, I mean, I don't even, I'm not very good at this, but the guy from Gossip Girl was there, some YouTuber, and then the guy from Bridgerton.
Oh my
And
gosh,
so
I kept
every
getting
day,
texts from Jolie like
Yeah.
every day. My girls are like, "Who's there? Who's there?
yeah,
Who's there?" It
yeah.
was so fun.
And I can't remember what girl was there, but like they were standing outside every day, like taking pictures. Like every time we walk out of the hotel, they're like taking pictures. We're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So
crazy.
yeah, the girls were so thrilled. So
That was
a good trip.
But yeah, it was fun. But I think we walked outside at night, and we were right by. I'm not going to be as good about the names in Paris than I am in London, but we were right by the park. We were close to the park, whatever that park is. We're close to the Louvre, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The Vendrome, I guess, is where we were.
No, I was
There's
going to
like
say
a big
staying
Tuscany
right by
Gardens.
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, and so it's right by where like the Ritz-Carlton is, and but we walked all over, and we only took the underground or the metro like a couple times, just because it was hot. But we walked everywhere, and I never felt unsafe. The only time that I was like didn't feel unsafe, I just felt annoyed, was at the Eiffel Tower. Like the gypsy situation. We definitely had people. We went to the like Lock Bridge, and we definitely had someone in too close into our personal space. But I didn't feel threatened. I just felt annoyed.
The easiest time that we had and the least annoyed I've ever been in Paris was when I was with Ben's family, and they spoke Romanian the whole time, and everybody was so incredibly kind because we weren't Americans when we were there. And the French are we're inherently loud, and and I don't think it's on purpose. We just are culturally so different.
Yeah.
The French, I love Paris. Like with all my heart, I love Paris. I've never been to another European place so many times, but people are not. People. They just aren't the kindest. I just don't think that's their culture. I don't think that they're being mean. I just don't think it's their culture.
We didn't have any problem at all. I thought everyone was so nice.
Good.
We never had anyone be rude. I thought everyone was so nice. We did the bike tour of Marseille, I think. And our tour guide then like took us out. We all went out for drinks after the bike tour. He hung out with us, like then took the kids out after to like some nightclub. Like I'm just like everyone was so nice. We had the best meal I think we've ever had. In Paris, went to Guy Savoy, and it was like incredible. Everyone was so nice. So,
did either of you eat at Pink Mama?
No,
I did not. No.
Okay.
It was on the list.
I didn't get to eat at a lot of places because I was with
you had little
children. But my hotel had a Michelin star restaurant, so we basically lived there. So it was like, it's kind of amazing food, so I didn't really care. But
you navigated France very well with kids, though. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
So that trip was, I had an 8-month-old, a 4-year-old. God, I don't know their ages, and I think a 7. I don't know. I lose track. I'm like, were you 4? Were you 6? 7? Maybe 8. 8 months, 4 and 7. I'm gonna say that Sounds right.
And a 35-year-old baby. Oh, sorry.
Yes. And
sorry.
well, for only half the time. So the first 3 weeks, actually, let me actually tell. Okay, people who want to know how to travel with kids. I was thinking we need to talk about jet lag. But one of the tricks that we did, because we're on the West Coast, so we actually went to Washington, D.C. to acclimate we did it for a week, but we took our kids to Washington, D.C. and it was amazing. Like all ages, it was amazing.
Can you tell the Whitney story really quick?
3 hours. Oh,
in Washington, please tell the story
in the
Washington,
rotunda.
Mm-hmm.
So my oldest is a history buff, like a savant. So I have, there's a baby on me. I'm chatting with whoever, and I turn around and we're in the rotunda of the Capitol, and he has 10 adults surrounding him, and he's 7, and he's explaining this enormous painting of Alexander Hamilton, because he's obsessed with Hamilton. He can perform the whole thing. And he's like, well, if you look further into the background, you actually see that Yorktown is burning because this was the Battle of Yorktown. And if you know the history of the Revolutionary War, this is the final battle. And these
oh my gosh,
and a man turns to me and he goes, I'd be on this kid's tour all day. So it was it was so cool. So that was very memorable. And I have tips on, like, if you want a Capitol tour, contact your house rep. Mm-hmm. That's how you just contact their office, and they'll actually, their job really is they work for the people. So you just get on their list and they will schedule you a personal tour with one of their interns. And that was my job. Oh, stop.
I was an intern for a congressman. Yeah. That was my job.
Oh my God.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
I lived in Washington, D.C.
for
a summer, and I was an intern, and that was my job. Yep.
That's amazing.
Way. Yeah. So oh my God. Yeah. And do you wish more people knew that they could this is free?
Yeah. I mean, it's free, and we usually will do, like, we'll take them to the store that they can't go to in the underneath, and so they can get things that they wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Or we'll send flags. If you call your congressman, like, we'll send you a flag, a really nice flag. But the one thing I always wish people knew about calling your congressman is when you call your congressman to complain about something, when they send out, like, well, call your congressman about that. Yeah, that was me. I fielded those calls. Like, don't.
You would much rather plan a tour.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw your girl.
Right, see the girls? Yeah.
Shout out to Lucy.
Oh my God. But yeah, then the trick about passports, because that's a whole other tip. So we needed passports for the baby and found out very last second. I know you're supposed to check your passports and blah, 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 but it was really a last second trip. So, the youngest, I think the 7-year-old, his was expired, his passport. And the passports, the wait, I'm assuming they're still backed up, but the wait was insane. And I was willing to travel anywhere in the country to get an appointment to get a passport. Mm-hmm. I called our house rep, the office. They got it done in less than 2 days. I didn't have to do anything, and they got the passports done. So that's a little trick. So do you know like the inside of how that works, or you just I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's just because everything has to run through the passport office in DC, and so they can do it so much quicker there. I mean, we've done one passport that way, but normally we just travel to wherever our state places, and they can turn it around in a day. We have never had a problem.
I was going to say, come to Arizona. You can get a passport.
Yeah, we drive to Tucson, or in Seattle the same.
It was COVID. It was the COVID backup. That's why. It was crazy. hope nobody runs into this, but if you do, the other thing was though, I had already expedited it. So my paperwork was already sitting there. It just needed done. And so what they did was they put me like automatically front of the line and got it done. So, so that was a really, really good trick. So, okay. So we were in DC, we adjusted to the time zone. We flew to Paris from there. And we, gosh, yeah. I mean, if you're traveling with kids, lower your expectations. I do not recommend you plan more than one thing a day. And maybe list your top, depends how long you're going to be there. But I would plan like days where you have nothing on the books, because you're going to find things you didn't know you even wanted to do or that existed.
Yeah.
And you're going to be ticked if you're so booked that you can't put these really important things in. But it was an educational trip for the boys. We did the Louvre has a treasure hunt. So you actually get I know, it's so cool. And it was things there's no way I would have even, and I've been to the Louvre. It was so in depth, but so digestible for their age. And so they did this little treasure hunt, and we got special access to the Mona Lisa. So my boys were able to, there's all this line and barricades, and my boys were right there.
That's cool.
So that's some little trick if that's really important to people, that they get to experience. And it ended at some sort of locker room thing or something.
Oh.
And they actually had like a Mona Lisa souvenir for the boys. That was their
that's
treasure
cool.
hunt prize. So
that
was really cool.
That's cool.
God, I did do
hold on one second.
Oh yeah.
Louvre tip, since we're at the Louvre, do not miss Napoleon's apartment. That is, I think, hands down, my favorite part of Paris is Napoleon's apartment.
Really?
And oh my gosh,
unreal.
We got to go into Peleș Castle in Romania, and that was the first castle with electricity. It's where you see all the Hallmark movies are made in Peleș. It's a phenomenal castle. Pales in comparison to Napoleon's apartment, and very few people take the time to finish their tour there.
Yep.
And honestly, if that's the only thing I ever see in the Louvre, I definitely will go back to the Louvre again. Napoleon's apartment was absolutely the coolest part. It was really, really neat.
Good to know. We didn't do that. I did not like the Louvre at all. So we left.
I followed that tip.
Do that next time.
We went to the Orsay because I love the Orsay.
Always a great choice. Yeah, always.
So I was like, I'm bored at the Louvre. Can we go? And we went to the Orsay instead because I love it.
It's so overwhelming. I think like in the Louvre, it's like make your game plan, pick your things you have to see, or else you're really not going to get to see anything. Some of the sculptures, but I took that tip that you guys told me you got to go see Napoleon's apartment. And I have Witten as a, 1-year-old in front of that enormous dining table. And
that's cool.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
The Louvre is good for two things. And I think you have to see the Mona Lisa. Like, it's very underwhelming, but it's just something you have to see. Napoleon's apartment, and then the Tuileries Gardens outside. I have pictures of my girls on the carousel and jumping on the trampolines. If you have little kids and you're going, I don't care if you're an adult, you go on the trampolines. I'm so excited to take London back and have her. So she was like 5 or 6 the last time she jumped on the trampolines, and now I want to get her picture, like video of her, doing it again, just so I can have that. She doesn't give a crap about it, but I think it'll be cute to be able to go back and do that again. But yeah, anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
You were saying something after the Louvre.
The trampolines, you guys, it's a city. So please, people understand, like, people like, it's dirty. I'm like, have you been to a city? Right. For a city,
they're all dirty. Yeah.
It's so, it's gorgeous, but don't get it twisted. It's a city. The rats that run around in the gardens right where the trampolines are as big as dogs.
I didn't see that. I did not see that, or I would not be.
Hear them.
I did not see that.
You can hear them. They're huge. I was like, "There's no way." And the guy running it, he's like, "Oh, it's the rats. It's fine." I'm like, and I'm like, "This is Paris. This is Ratatouille. It's fine." God, we did so many things, but left room. That's probably my number one. Like I said, that's the number one tip. Leave room for adventures and getting lost. And if you go just with your, God, that'd be a perfect city if you wanted a solo trip. Go sit and drink wine in a cafe and go any time of year. When it's cold, it's cozy. When it's hot, there's things to do. It's amazing. There was an amazing carnival that we went to. The kids were obsessed with. The Luxembourg Gardens were the kids' favorite thing, though. And they have puppet shows, like the traditional puppet shows you kind of like picture. And it's all in French, and it's so cute. And they have a carousel that has jousting. So they give the kids like a jousting stick, and they hit a ring. And their parks are all fenced in, so you can let your little ones run, and you don't have to worry about it. And those were so much nicer than anything we have here.
Yeah.
So when people are like saying it's not safe or whatever, I'm like, have you been to Portland? Like, get real. Like, I didn't want to go home. It was so much better. And then also they have like little popsicle things where it's all 100% fruit juice that is healthy, and they give the moms wine, and it's so fun. We at the time got around by Lime scooters, but then right after we left, they outlawed them.
Oh no, they were scooters when we were there.
It was
Christian took scooters all over the place when we were there
recently.
Just 2 years ago. Yeah,
we were there 2 years ago too. It was that summer, and then I mean, let me just say, I hope they didn't ban it because it was awesome.
I don't think they did.
That's how we got around DC. I hope they didn't. I heard they did. I hope they didn't. But that's my favorite way to get around is electric scooters.
When we were there, for sure, like just recently, some woman had been hit by a bus on the Lime scooter, but they were still, they're still using them. Yeah.
Oh, that was how we did it. I mean, that was so fun. We did the metro a little bit, but we also had we had cars. We hired transportation to come pick us up. For, sometimes I think that's worth it when you need to get around to stuff. Oh, what is the Flytographer.com?
Very good. So Flytographer is good. I'm working with a lady. So London is my youngest daughter. She's named London. So I'm taking her on her trip, and we're going to get her senior pictures done. And we actually looked into Flytographer, and I am finding even on TikTok and Instagram, the Flytographer is beautiful in Paris. I'm not loving the ones in London as much. I found another girl in London, but gosh, there's Flytographer, and there's about 2 other sites that are great that are just like that. And you really can get your picture. I mean, actually, you have some of the greatest pictures I've seen taken in front of the Eiffel Tower, and that is such
nice.
I think Oprah uses Flytographer, Viator uses Flytographer, there's a booking, they all use. There's definitely ways to get family pictures done. I know in Greece there's it's really popular to do like the big dress that you get in and throw your dress,
the Santorini
or whatever
type thing.
So there's tons of things that you can do, like just looking up different people. I feel like the internet is definitely, I would say not so much the internet, but social media is definitely revolutionizing all of that stuff. I've planned almost my whole trip on TikTok. I'm loving this girl called Love in London. I'll actually tag her in here.
Tag her that.
She's so wonderful. I mean, London and I just sit there, and she's so cute and she's so relatable, and we watch all her things. And she'll actually, like, I think it's $100, and she'll be like, are you going for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days? She'll put a whole thing together so you're not doing too much. It's basically like paying for a travel planner.
Yeah.
But you have that. So she has like her free posts, her free YouTube, and then she'll actually go in and do like detailed for very inexpensive, like doing like actual like daily planning based on how long you're there, and like show you. And I think she'll start with like where you're staying and then like go out from there. But she's loving London. She's great. I was looking up some stats. You know me and
we love our stats.
my stats, but yeah, it's insane. Europe has the highest volume of inbound tourists since 2021. I actually was this was one of my huge I had 2 fears when COVID happened. One, that I'd never have a sample at Costco again was huge for me. Listen, I've lost 60 pounds and I still am obsessed with my Costco samples. Like,
it's portion controlled.
Oh
dude, it's weird. It's
That's
really
what
weird
we
thing.
just need a bite.
I'm telling you, it's a really weird thing. I'm very connected to my Costco samples. And getting back to Europe, I was literally petrified that I wouldn't be able to go back again. And we can get into some American travel for sure, but if you haven't traveled to Europe, it gets into like I don't want to say like it's a religious experience because I don't want the Christians coming after me, but it does get into your being. It gets in your soul. Like it's really, really weird. Like Paris is always a good idea. Like all these things like that people have said, like it's not fake. Like it's a real thing. When I went to Romania for the first time, and I'm married to a Romanian, but when I went there the first time, I'm like, I could give up everything at home and just be here. Like there's something different that gets in you. Those cobblestone streets, they are so much slower. They're so methodical about what they're eating and what they're drinking, and the beach chairs that they pull out on the Seine in the summer in Paris. And they put sand down because they don't have beaches unless you're going to go down to Marseille or, down to the coast or whatever. It's different. It's so different. And so it gets into you and you have to go back. I was very, very, depressed that I wouldn't be able to go back. So this is that might be another reason that I'm so like wild about like, where do I want to go? What do I want to see? Because I have a paranoia in me that it always may be my last time that I get to go back because I do love it so much. And if you haven't been, you can't understand. And if you have been, then you 100% understand what I'm saying. Like the countries get into your heart and they're like a part of you.
For sure.
It's a really, really weird thing. So it doesn't surprise me that that's absolutely the most inbound tourism goes, obviously, to Europe. Airbnb is opening things up. The internet's opening things up. I love some of these stats that I'm finding. Obviously, immediate family members are most likely travel companions. 83% of travelers are going with their family. That's amazing. Like to just go experience these things with your family. But on the same token, solo traveling has increased by 72% since COVID.
Like, highly recommend. Guys, do it. That's I was looking at I had a travel concierge, so I was like, what is this? And that is actually the market that they said is going to grow the most, and clearly it is solo travel. It's awesome. I can't recommend it enough.
They're saying Generation Alpha, so that's like our babies, like Lucy or London. They're influencing our travel the most, or your boys. It's what you planned your trip around. That's who you're taking right now, right? Is Bella and Lucy. Let's go. Like you can grab them because they're off in the summer and we can go. That's who I'm taking to Europe this summer. I know Brooklyn. That's part of like we're setting her budget this weekend for the next 2 weeks. Ben and I do that with her, and there's money for her. She wants to go to Paris next year by herself, but she's that generation that's setting, she wants to go with her friends. And so that's part of her savings every month is to go next year on her own money, going to travel over to Europe. That's so important to her. So I think that's really cool. But I think that's funny that Generation Alpha, whether it be international or in America, they're the ones that are setting families' travel plans. So
I think they're probably raised by the generation who's taking them the most. So they're probably the most exposed, like of any generation that's ever been, this exposed this young.
Because you go back and then you have, baby boomers were coming from their parents who had nothing. I mean, my my grandma was making bean salad, right? So you have the Great Depression. My grandma's a Bertolucci, and she hasn't been to Italy. So that's something, right? Like her family came from there to make a better life, but that didn't mean that generation got to go. So it's been like we've gotten better and better, and so now we're the ones that are sending everybody back.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool.
Well, we found that with like Christian's Italian family, they didn't want to go back. Like they came here to make a better life. When I talked to great grandma about like, hey, I'd really like to go to Sicily, she said, why? Why would you ever want to go there? Gross. Like it's dirty, it's gross. Please don't go there. Please don't tell people that's where I'm from. Like they didn't want to go back because they came here for a reason. And so I think it's this whole, but when you sit around and you listen to their stories, I think it brings something out that I want to see where 100%. They came from. I want to see all of that. I want my kids to see that. And so, yeah, that's part of traveling. Like I want my kids to experience first something different. I want them to see there's a different way to live. That's part of the reason like we go to the country in England is because I want to see that slower pace, that we're walking everywhere, that we can just relax and slow down.
Yeah.
And do it without any kind of like screens.
Yeah.
And so there's that. Then I also want them to see, we've taken them to New York, and I love New York. I absolutely love New York. But they're a little bit more uncomfortable on the subway. They just are. And but when we go, to England, they're so much more comfortable. Like they can see, okay, this can be safe and I can travel this way and I don't always have to get an Uber or whatever. Like, it can be safe to walk around at night. It's this different way of life, or we can take time. We're taking hours to eat, or I don't know. It's just this slower pace somewhat, and then you're experiencing things differently. Yeah. So
I totally agree.
That's why we do it.
I know for us, when we took the girls to Romania when they were little, it was like our weirdest story there. And I know Ashley's seen this picture. My father-in-law comes to dinner. So we had separated for the day. We were taking our girls like everywhere. We wanted them to be immersed in their culture. We stayed in the flat, in their communist flat that Ben's cousins, like they split their family up. They got to keep their family home, and the girls got to stay in the communist flat where all their cousins stayed in one room. They used to shut off electricity at night. Ben's cousin is passed away now. I think some of them died from cancer because of Chernobyl.
Wow.
Their moms' wombs were affected by Chernobyl. All the way from Romania. Like that's reality. But we slept my girls got to sleep in the same bunk beds where power was shut off. Ben's cousin's brain froze in the middle of the night. Like there's like stories that are unreal, right? I wanted my kids to be in the middle of all that and know what was going on. But it's just good to get back to the reality of what they came from. But at the same time, we had taken his grandma because we do have much, right? So now we can take his grandma to a restaurant that she would not be able to go to on a normal basis, which is so much fun. Like the whole family got to sit down. We got to take them out to multiple places. Well, Ben's dad shows up with a camera and says, look at this picture. And I was like, I've never seen that dress on London before. Like, where did that picture come from?
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, that's super weird. Like that looks like kind of an old fashioned dress. I don't know where that came from. It was not London. It was her cousin that was 8 or 9 years older than her. And I'll post this on the story too, and post a picture of London at that age. They are 100% twins. She lives in Spain, and it's a cousin of London that lives here in the US. And grandma's sister or cousin had it on her on her mantle in her fireplace. Like that would not have happened, that connection, if we didn't spend the money that Ben and I did not have at 20 something years old and buy the plane tickets that were 15, 16. They were so much more expensive than it is now. I mean, it was almost $7,000 for us to get 4 people to Romania. And it was worth every single penny because it is the slow pace. It is the culture. It is so much different. It's invaluable to take at any age, wherever you're at in your life, save the money or just spend the money if you have it. It's 100% different to be there versus to be. It's so worth it. It's so good.
I agree. And I've slummed it all the way to all out. And there's goods about both, but if money's the issue, I tell people, I'm like, in reality, if you're willing to just, part of the adventure is just get there. Like, don't overplan, just get there. And if you're willing to just go with it, and who knows, but you're going to have a great story after. The money's in the plane ticket. After that, you can do it so cheap. Don't let that stop you.
Yeah. For sure.
You can go on YouTube and find 10,000 things to do for free in every single city.
You can do it as high-end eating, or wine is cheaper than water. Yeah.
In Romania as well.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of times we found that in Italy, like that the food, even the higher end restaurants were less expensive there than they are here. But also it's not like you can have a great experience if you just go and sit at a cafe for hours. Take a
100%.
Take a sketchbook and just sit, or take a journal and just sit and have, like, start in the morning with coffee, walk around a little bit, find a different place for your cocktail hour, or and just sit and people watch and listen and talk to the people who are sitting around you. And I feel like 100%. You can get so much out of that. I mean, I love the museums, but you also get so much out of just sitting there and soaking it all in and just walking the city. So wherever you're at.
Well, and don't you agree the statement, when in Rome, is so freaking true? Like, you just go and assimilate to what other people are doing. Go and be quiet and listen and ask questions. They want to tell you everything about their city. They are so proud of their city. They're so proud of their country. They want to tell you everything there is amazing to do. It's wild. Like, it's different.
And when you break it down a little bit, perhaps, because they don't probably have that many Americans that really want to know. So one of the times we went, we were supposed to fly into Paris about 2 or 3 days after the bombing that happened there back in 2015, I think that was. And we rerouted. So we stopped in Iceland, and then we're there for a few days, flew to Amsterdam. And then from Amsterdam, we just started to pick Airbnbs, and we ended up in Bruges, and we ended up, at one point, we kind of got tired. It was cool, but it was like completely unplanned. And I had my youngest, it was for his first birthday. So I had an 11-month-old with me. And we stayed out of the cities because it was the first time a terrorist attack like that had happened. So we just didn't know. And if it was just us, I think without a kid, we were like, whatever, we'll figure it out. We'll be fine. But with a kid, we're like, So we stayed in the countryside. And I was hitting up friends that I knew had done summers in Germany and wherever. And I was like, where'd you stay? And we stayed in little Airbnbs. We actually stayed in a mother-in-law quarter of an Airbnb in Germany, and we stayed there. Like, they made our meals, and we got to have meals with them. And they had a 1-year-old that played with our 1-year-old. They took us to their family's Christmas markets. It was, I'll never forget it. But we did build enough safety in that relationship where they could open us up to us about why, you know, from their perspective, I'm not speaking for everybody, but their perspective of why, like, even in soccer, they're not proud to wave the German flag. Like there's still not a patriotism like you see with us. And they explained, you know, because obviously their history, and their grandparents were Nazis, and explained what happened and who gets to have those experiences unless you're at the dinner table with these people.
Yeah.
You know, I'll never
and you've earned their
forget
trust and spent the time with them. Yeah. It's so cool.
And
that's so cool.
So, you know, it's things like that's why you travel.
Yeah.
Well, and you can't put a dollar figure on those on those kind of things. Like it's not it's unfathomable until you experience it. Like, and then you know, like that's when it gets in here where it's like the money doesn't matter. You have to go do these things. Ben and I have always said that we don't let what's our phrase, Ash? Don't let school get in the way of our education for our kids. Because if there's something that's important for our kids to go see, or if there's something that we are allowed to experience in our life, we're like, forget about it. School, especially public school, like, you drop it and you move on, because those things can go on your resume. Those things can become an essay for a college, you know, application, all those things, where it doesn't matter if you miss two, you know, weeks of your 4th grade year of school. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, take your kids, do the things, put them in scenarios that nobody else in their class has experienced. Like, it's invaluable. So it's super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Good.
Can we take 5 minutes and tell me your favorite in the U.S. vacation that you've taken in the last few years?
In the U.S.?
Mm-hmm.
I love New York. I mean, I do love New York. So we took the kids, gosh, it was right after COVID. So there was still, because it was New York, there were still some COVID-y things going on, but we took the kids to New York, and we took 4 of the 6 plus a bonus kid. And I mean, I love it. I love doing the different things. The kids don't necessarily love the city, so they didn't all have a great time, but that's probably one of my favorite trips for Christian and I. But for the kids, for them to all have a good time, then it's Hawaii. They love Hawaii. I mean, that's their probably number one ask.
Yeah.
Is when are we going back? And I'm always like, when are we going to Europe? So like, I put Hawaii on the back burner, but they're always wanting the Hawaii trip. And I think they like both Maui and Kauai.
Yep.
So
I think Maui would probably be our answer, Ash, but it's a little bittersweet for us.
It's actually not my favorite. Kauai would be more my vibe. Poipu. But I loved Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I loved it. You know, I've kind of been in the kid world a little bit. It's, I want to say, like, it's so close, but it's not in the country, but Vancouver, BC.
I freaking love Vancouver, BC.
Oh, Vancouver's a great city.
I do too.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, dang.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a passport, you can get across if you drive, or you go by ferry with an enhanced driver's license.
Yeah.
So
if you're from Washington, that makes it easy.
If I can get a pass on that, I was very impressed. Hawaii's great. Gosh, I haven't been traveling as much as normal.
I said in the last few years, so that counts. And mine's always going to be Disney with my kids. They just love it so much.
Disney's great.
In the US,
We also
I know
really
that's so cheesy, but it's everybody just loves it.
I love it.
And
too.
My husband is very good at Disney. He's the Disney.
He is good at
Disney
my kids
dad.
now. Okay, so
well,
my kids
he's
now
just
at Disney,
reformed your Disney trip, so now you're good at
100%.
Disney too. Yeah.
No, but not just mine, like the girls. So I mean, it's funny because I don't think it like Disney. I think now the kids are just like they don't call that a vacation. That's just like a weekend trip or whatever. So
sure.
When we think about vacation, they're not.
Sure.
But Abby went, with her boyfriend, and she's messaging me. I'm cutting up the oranges. I'm getting all the snacks ready. Like all that she learned from Ben.
Yeah.
Ben would be so proud.
Doing the backpack full of snacks. I mean, they killed it at Disney, just the two of them, like figuring out what rides to be on and their time. It was amazing. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Passed it down.
I
love Disney so much, but my boys did not expect this. They're obsessed with Legoland.
That works
too.
I've heard good and it's a lot cheaper and a lot easier. I have too.
So much cheaper, so much easier, no crowds. I mean, if you want just kind of like a hack, especially for their age, it's so good. So good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we have Disney's.
Well, don't take
Disney's
the Monets
special.
with you to Disneyland because London, we went for London and Lucy, I think I've said this before, that our daughter's birthdays are so close. And then London's like, is Christian coming? Because he got me the primo dessert and caviar for my birthday.
Oh my God.
It was a little different with Christian being there. My kids are, they don't
Ben does all the snacks.
Be normal. Yeah, Ben does the snacks.
Yeah, and
Christian spoils
does the high
kids.
end stuff.
It's great. It's good on our end. So I guess it worked both ways.
Yeah.
So
it was fun.
Good. But yeah,
it was great.
We had a great time.
It was a great time.
It was really fun.
Yeah,
it was really fun.
What's your favorite not in the States vacation then?
Oh, anywhere in the world?
Sure.
Romania was by far the best, and Paris with my kids was the greatest. I loved it. Or Brasov. There's a city called Brasov, and I will also post a picture of this city. Our stories will go crazy tomorrow, but
I'll post my Brasov.
The Brasov was insane. It was.
Agreed.
Did you go there? Brasov.
Yeah.
So Brasov, where we stayed, we had food poisoning in Brasov, but that was the last day. When we stayed there, it was like, when what's the girl's Belle from Beauty and the Beast?
Yep.
When she's in her house and she opens the windows and you're right in the middle of the city and it's just so picturesque. Like that's Brasov. Like we had the shutters, we had the room. People are doing their laundry outside, and we're right in the center of the whole entire city. The black church is there. It wasn't real. Like it was. It
was one of the best meals I've ever had. I'll never forget the soup.
It's an insane.
It's crazy.
It's an insane city. Like Brasov is insane, and it's so cute because they have a Hollywood sign, but it says Brasov, and it's just Romanians are so funny. Like they want to be America so bad. No offense to any Romanians listening to this, because I know there's some, but it's so funny. Like there's just an homage to America in so many places in Romania, and that's one of them. They have a huge Brasov sign on the city, but it's wonderful.
When I was there, things were about your money stretched about 3 to 4 times further. Is it still that way?
10 times further. 10 times further. A bottle of water is cheaper than a bottle of beer.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So we did like a Vegas style like bed on the beach. This is on the other side of Romania, but you're talking
on the
5
Danube?
to 10 no, on the Black Sea.
On Black Sea.
In Constanza, you're talking $10 a day for a day bed on the beach. Like it's unreal. Like if you want to go high end and make your money go far, go to Romania. It's an unreal experience to go
Yep.
there because it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. We could not park our we couldn't park our van that we rented at the nightclub because it wasn't nice enough. But we had a ton of people we were traveling with Ben's family. They made us go into the next parking lot because it was all like Maseratis and so it was all like the government communists that still are there, right?
Yes.
And that are partying. Yep. They still exist. And they get to park in the front at the clubs and you don't. So it's interesting there.
It's very interesting.
Very interesting.
Insane history. Crazy history.
Cool.
But hands down, one of the best places I've ever been to. Who would
Brasov is unreal. And it's way up in the mountains. And I mean, it's a trek to get there, but it's one of the most beautiful places probably in the world. It's
Transylvania. Crazy. Gotta go see it. It's so cool. Mine would be Italy.
Anywhere in Italy? Just hands down the whole country?
I happen to prefer the northern. I love Rome. I did not like Rome the first time I was there, but I've been 3 or 4 times. I love Rome. And then I do prefer the northern side to the southern side. I like the casualness, the vibe more. It's this, it's gorgeous south of Rome, but the people and just everything, I was more of a northern, like Cinque Terre person. And then traveling into Umbria, staying in Assisi, it is well, I can say it's a spiritual experience because it is a it's a retreat. But yeah, Francis of Assisi makes sense when you go there. You're like, oh, this is God showing off nature like you would never imagine. And they've transformed it into a spa town. So that's a good one. And then I would say probably the sexiest place I've been was Barcelona. It's like palpable. Like this place is hot. Yeah, that's where I would go. Where's yours, Jolie?
So I love the Cotswolds in England. It's like
my dream.
Happy place.
You and the
I
Beckhams.
absolutely love it. Yeah, I just absolutely love it. It's like peaceful. I love it. We got a car. I even love driving there. I feel so comfortable driving.
I want to see that. I would love to see that.
It is like I love it. And so I feel like that's always where I'm drawn to. But man, I gotta say, Italy was definitely I really enjoyed Tuscany. And so we loved Florence. We can't wait we're going back in October. I absolutely love it. I'm trying to figure out if we can get to Lake Como this summer. But like I loved all the little towns of Volterra, Siena, Lucca, Pisa. Like I loved all of it. So
the food.
The food was amazing. They're so allergy friendly. Like they were amazing with my celiac. It was so great. Because even though, I know people don't always know this, but if you're gluten intolerant, then yes, you can totally eat the food over there and eat the pasta. But if you have celiac, you still can't eat the pasta. But they're so accommodating. And awesome. So it was so great. But it was just, we loved Florence because it's so walkable. And so we just like walk everywhere. But also, I kind of loved, so they don't have Uber there. And so then we would hire drivers. And I loved that whole experience of getting that time in the car to talk to the driver and hear different things. And
me too.
I really liked Italy. So I feel like the UK always has my heart because I just love the Cotswolds and I love the UK. I love everything about it. But man, Italy is where I think we'll go more of the time now because I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So
it's so
and we
special.
haven't been south. We went to Rome, which again, I think maybe we might need to try it again. I did not enjoy Rome.
Not the first time. It's terrible the first time.
Our friends who are who go often and they have their Italian passports, they love Rome, and I was like, really? Because
you gotta
go back.
You do,
but
you really do.
One of my things is I don't like being a tourist. Like I don't like doing touristy things, and I felt like Rome, there were so many touristy things, and it was hard to try to figure out that not being a tourist situation. So that's what I liked about Florence is I didn't feel so much like a tourist. So I think that's what was hard, but maybe going back. And then, I do want to go south. I do want to go to the beaches. We do want to go to Sicily. I love Northern Italy so much.
Yeah.
So
I stayed in a convent in Rome. That's one way to get away from tourism. Oh, look at the party balloons.
What is it? I'm literally just sitting here. Nuns. I'm just sitting here. I don't know what's happening.
Oh my
gosh. Did you go to Modena?
No,
There is a top chef in the world, Massimo Bottura. His restaurant is in Modena, and this is like bucket list experience. My friends went. Well, Tiff, Morgan and Ron, they specifically went to Modena. He's the first episode of Chef's Table on Netflix.
Okay.
They wept.
Oh my gosh.
Literally wept. This is like out of body experience. So
okay, you gotta send me that because
Morgan and Ron will be the ones to they know, like they're
they moved to Barcelona. They're there. So it actually if people they're living their best lives, but if you want places
because that's one thing that we always do. We look up like what the Michelin star restaurants are. We try to figure like that. We try to do at least one meal that's like that super whatever high-end Michelin star experience, like that's a food experience.
Yes.
And I'm so excited about this trip with London because that is my goal. I'm like, whatever. This is the first time I've had this kind of attitude going into it, but it's like, I'm going in with whatever, like this is a yes trip. Like whatever you want to do, we're doing it. Cool. Like I booked things early so we could get the best at a better price. But I want to do the best of everything because we've done a lot of budget stuff. And if anybody that's listening has questions, believe me, I'm the Winco girl. Like I will give you the budget version of everything and you can totally enjoy your time. But that's not my goal this time at all. My goal is to go do the high-end teas, the high-end shows, the high-end all the things. Are we going to do the London Eye? Yes, it's so touristy and it's overpriced, but we're going to just do it because we're going to do it. We're going to get the pictures taken. We're going to do all the things. So it's good. Yes. I love that. I really want to, there's a Michelin star tea. I think you had said that. Like, that's ridiculous to me. But
Sketch
okay,
is
you want to do it? Let's do it.
Yeah. That's for sure my favorite place.
That's my absolute goal is to take my girl, like, she's going into college. This could be the last time I get 18 days with London one-on-one ever, you know? So, So unless she's smart like Julie's kids and continues to travel into their adulthood, hopefully.
She will.
Oh, for sure.
She will.
She's got the one more thing let's talk about because spring break is coming up is are you going anywhere on spring break? And where do you usually go on spring break? I'm sending my kid with my parents to Newport and I'm staying home. So I'm not going anywhere. And London actually paid her own portion of her Airbnb with her money from work. So
nice.
I'm not. Girl. I'm just staying home.
Mm-hmm. We've never been huge spring breakers just because of soccer. Soccer consumed most of our spring breaks for most of the kids' lives. Until we moved to Arizona and we didn't do soccer, and so we've never been huge spring breakers, and so we don't typically. This year we had a plan to go to Florida and do Disney World and stuff, but instead we're going to go to Disneyland for the weekend, go to the beach, and then fly up to Seattle because my oldest daughter starts her treatment. So spring break will be in Seattle, probably sitting with my oldest while she does radiation. So
love her.
So
Praying for her, by the way.
So
all of you.
But yeah, I think. But the reality is, spring break has never been a time where we pull the kids out of school to do vacations.
That's kind of how we are.
Just because spring break is like, so I feel like it's overrated. Like, and then everything's crowded, and then it's just
everybody's
like too
there.
much for me. So we've never really done that, and like I said, there's always been soccer, but so we tried this year, and spring break just is not our thing, I guess.
I think we got sick, really, really sick last spring break, from what I remember. I think we were going to do a trip, and then it's kind of a blur. We made up for it. We later went to, I can't remember, because the kids were at that age. I don't know. We went to Disneyland and Legoland, and I don't remember how we did it. This spring break is possibly, I still have to know. We haven't even talked about, are we splitting up the kids? Are we is one person going to have them for a week? I think they're going to go into baseball camp. I don't think we're going to do too much. We have a beach house, so probably go to the beach house. Nothing too, we're the same. I don't like to travel during crowded times. I'd rather not do that. And the airfare jacks up. So
totally.
not my favorite. If I don't have them, we need to get over to Florida to see Ben's family. So, and I work over there. I don't know. To be determined. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Super fun. Well, good. That's fun. That's super fun. Okay. Well, more Americans, our friends, go to Europe. Clearly we're passionate about it. So
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you have questions, message us.
Let us
we'll
know.
Tell you what we know, what we don't know.
How to travel. You can travel with your honey. You can travel by yourself. You can travel with your kids. We've done it all. So ask us.
So fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool, guys.
All right.
Okay. Well, everybody have a good week.
Yes. Okay. We'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Bye.